Hey guys, Awkward Hybrid here. Yeah, so, you know how a few days ago, or more like last week, I uploaded a quick video about the Universal Studios trip? A lot of stuff happened. And now, before I say this, just so you know, you have full permission to not believe me. I'm not saying, trying to force you into believing this, because a lot of the stuff that happened was pretty outlandish, and if you don't believe it on me, then that's fine. I completely understand. So let's get things started then. So I had to get picked up from school about, like right when lunch started at 11:30. So, I get picked up and we go home and get our things and then go off to the airport. And, at the first airport, from to our connecting flight, because, Oregon to Florida is a pretty, big trip. So naturally, we're gonna have to take a quick flight. So our stop off was in Dallas. Now, while I was waiting in Portland, mind you, I was still in Oregon. I'm just sitting there on the bench, just waiting for for the flight to come along, when this guy's ringtone behind me starts blaring really, really loudly. Now, my first thought is, oh, he must have forgot to set the volume down or something. I'll try not to eavesdrop on his conversation, but who are we talking about? Again, loud ringtone. It's gonna, in an airport, no mind you, it's gonna get someone's attention. So I'm like, talking to one of my friends on my phone while listening to this guy talk behind me, and I think, oh, he might be in like the law business or something. Maybe that's why he's talking about witnesses and misdemeanors and felonies. And my friend's trying to tell me about a dream she's had, so I'm trying to be content while, occasionally updating on what's going on behind me. And then I hear the words murder case escape from his mouth. And immediately, I interrupt the friend. Like, I am so sorry to interrupt you. The guy behind me just started talking about a murder case. And, he doesn't say everything like, oh yeah, it was at 6:30 p.m. on, I don't know, Johnson Street, 4 in the frickin' apartment, 4th apartment, 5th floor, 9th. It wasn't like that, but he was, adding in little sparse details every now and again, so I start to I start to piece together what's going on. And when I told my friend about the murder case that he's just talking about, according to the friend, he either needs to go somewhere else or keep the volume down because he could get in serious trouble. Yeah, he's talking and talking until the official announcement came that we had to go into the flight. So, I'm trying to keep some attention on him and see if it's gonna be anything serious, but nothing actually happens. We just get onto the flight and then off we go. A very long flight, but according to time zones, it was a lot shorter than that. It's fine. Anyway, we stop off at Dallas, and according to my dad, we have 30 minutes to get to the next flight. So we're in a little bit of a rush. Now, here's the thing you should know about Oregon airports. We have to walk everywhere. There aren't any little train things connected, no mini subways at the outsides of the airport. So when I find these in the southeast of the US, I'm more than a little intrigued. So we get on one and we're it's a little crowded, not too crowded, and it immediately flies off. I almost fling backwards into somebody, knock into my brother, almost knocked into the guy behind him, but, I eventually stop myself in time and just hold onto the pole for dear life. So we eventually get there. We didn't have to wait too long, and then we go into the flight. And I notice is that on these seats, there's a little screen in front of us above your tray. And we were going to be going from 8 p.m. to midnight. So naturally, just naturally, it's gonna be, more than a little exciting. Like, hey, we can watch TV shows. We can read. No, I was gonna say read books. We can play games, and I'm playing like a couple rounds of like Battleship. My dad next to me is doing Hangman, which, by the way, when you humanize the stick figure in Hangman, it gets a lot more scary. And I didn't have earbuds with me to like plug in because there were episodes 7 through 10 of one of my favorite shows, Mr. Robot. And I wish I had my headphones on me. It was in like the suit in the overhead compartment. I couldn't. Now, when I'm playing Battleship with, again, Dad next to me and Michael watching a video on his phone, which he eventually had to turn off, the guy, like, we're about to take off, and I hear, like, okay, sorry, keep on stammering over myself. The pilot turns on, and these little screens, it, like, pauses everything for a little notification. The pilot is talking right now, or something, something, something. And this is, like, the legally required stuff. Please be seated when the ladder's on. Turn off electronics. Put it on airplane mode. That sort of thing. And then, as the plane's taking off, the pilot says, "We regret to inform you that there is no Wi-Fi on this plane." Again, I apologize to say that. So it's like, alright, I can bear with that. But 10 minutes later, the game pauses again. And he was like, "I have been mistaken, there is Wi-Fi in this airplane." So it's like, yeah. I'm checking the timer right now, and I'm seeing that I really don't have much time left, because I have a lot to talk about. So we're on this plane from 8 p.m. to midnight, and when you're heading east, time zones are a thing, so essentially, it's going to be a little shorter than what the time actually says. I kid you not. Every, 15 minutes, he'd come up, and even after I had turned off the screen, it'd come back on again, just to give that little notification. And it's like, I'm trying to sleep here. Now, a little tip I learned from YouTuber Superwoman is that the most comfortable way to get sleep on an airplane is when you get the tray, put it down, and rest over like that. So I'm trying to do that, and then because it's like you can't just lean backward like that, and if you open your eyes, and then blah, the glare of the screen. Blah is my sound effect. Sorry about that. But yeah, eventually after a few hours, we get to Florida at midnight. I'm tired as heck. I just want to go to bed. And now, right when we were starting to land, I was leaning against my dad's shoulder because I'm hecka tired, and I asked him, "Hey, where are we gonna be stopping off at?" And he's like, "Oh, we're gonna be staying at a hotel while we're in Florida." So it's like, oh, alright, try not to keep your expectations down. I kid you not! This wasn't a motel. This was a 4.5-star hotel. Cabana Bay, Cabana, I don't know how to pronounce it. It was fancy as hell. It had it was going for a Fallout 4 thing where it had really heavy 50s aesthetics. I mean, minus the radiation. But still. And I'm asking my dad, "Dad, this is a little fancy for a hotel. Are we sure we have enough money? Because we're going to Universal Studios." And Dad's like, "Well, it's trying to go for a motel theme." Which, by the way, if you plan on making a hotel, don't go for motel theme, because motels are usually very cheap. And if you're going to be paying for $345 a night per adult, don't try to give off those cheap vibes. Just a tidbit. But yeah, the guy at our desk, his name was Andres, and Andres is one of my favorite people. He was so nice. And it's thank you for this. I'm tired, but thank you. Eventually, after more talking, we finally get to go to our rooms at 1 in the morning. And we have to get up at 7:30, so naturally we just fall asleep like that. So it's Friday now. We wake up, we go to our little bus, and Cabana, whatever, is on Universal Studios property. So naturally, this is gonna there's gonna be a bus going to there. And the thing about this hotel is that it opens up 1 hour before the public does. We go in there at 8. it opens up to the public at 9, so we have an hour for the park to ourselves. And immediately we go to the Harry Potter Universal Studios. By the way, the freaking butterbeer there is great. And don't worry, it's basically butterscotch flavored hot cocoa, but it is still very, very good. Now, I don't get motion sick easy on roller coasters that well. I really like doing roller coasters, but one problem is that, on the Gringotts one, this is supposed to be like you have like 3D glasses. You just sort of wait in line for a bit, and this isn't like an actual hotel. This is sort of like you're exploring the bank, and then oh no, Bellatrix and Voldemort break in, because that's basically your weekend in the Harry Potter Wizarding World. Oh, Voldemort broke in? Alright, we don't worry. We call that Tuesday. And there are these little screens that would be in 3D, and if something is like if there was like water spraying, it would like fleck water onto the audience or whatever. Because of like the rapid shifting between, the 3D little short movies and the the actual ride itself rocking about. Yeah, that's when I got motion sick, but that was the only time it happened. There were other rides, too, that were also very, very fun. And, yeah, to be honest, I don't really remember a whole lot of stuff that happened on this day, but on Saturday, a lot of stuff oh, I remember this, sorry, okay. On Friday, we're on Friday, we were also into the Jurassic Park section. Which, pretty good section. And there's a thing which is sort of like this not roller coaster. It's sort of like Splash Mountain in Disney World, only, dinosaurs in Jurassic World and tiny hints of, it's Jurassic Park with hints of Jurassic World. And, we're going on this ride, we're splishing and splashing about, everything's all fun and dandy. And then, at the end of the ride, there's, this animatronic T-Rex that, comes forth from this fog and start going uphill. And this isn't, a dramatic uphill, but it is, a massive, 45-degree angle decline into a huge splash. So, naturally, things are gonna be pretty wet, and, we're sitting there, and it's just yes, we're waiting for this, and right as we start to go up this little hill to the sudden drop, I hear over the intercom, "Row 4, please put your camera down." I said, "Row 4, please put your camera down." Yeah, and we were in row 1, so it's just huh, who's that? But yeah, the splash happens, everything's fun and dandy. Now, so much stuff happened while I was in Florida that I just can't say it all in one video. So yes, I am making a part 2. So, see you soon, alright?